How's it going? Vladimir Donis here. So hey, I wanted to jump on and do a quick video, and the title of today's video is how to generate buyer leads before an open house. Before I get into the actual content, let me go ahead and provide you with some context. I believe that every real estate agent needs to have a marketing plan, and the only way you have a marketing plan is to have a marketing roadmap, which is why when I work with real estate agents, I help them implement 3 core steps: reach, engage, and attract. Now today I'm going to be pulling from one of those core steps, because each core step has prerequisites, and the prerequisite that I'm going to be pulling from today is the conversion process. Now, as it relates to the actual content, now anytime that you can create marketing that allows you to have conversations with your prospects, it's a win-win situation. It's a win-win situation for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is that the more conversations you have, the more sales you'll make, because conversations lead to sales. The other reason why it's a win-win situation is that because as you're having conversations with your prospects, those specific individuals get to learn things about you, and they get to experience you, as well. I'm not sure if this has ever happened to you, but imagine being very good at what it is that you do. So before you became a real estate agent or whatever it is that you've done in the past, you were very good at it, right? So you're very good at this thing that you've done in the past, and then you become something. So in this specific instance, you become a real estate agent. And when you become a real estate agent, one of the things that you have to learn is you have to learn marketing. So you say to yourself, you know what, hey, I'm capable of learning. Obviously, there's things that I've learned in the past. So from a learning standpoint, I shouldn't struggle to learn this specific new thing. But as you're learning this specific new thing, you're implementing different things, and you're just noticing that it's not working. So essentially, it's not that you don't know how to learn. It's not that there's an issue with you. There's just a couple of different components that you have to consider. And if you miss out on one specific component, you don't implement it properly. It's just sometimes it feels like it's a forever struggle, and it seems like it's taken forever to learn this specific component. Now, essentially, the thing that you have to consider is that you have to consider that as it relates to marketing and in those specific components, that there is a recipe, right? If you follow the recipe step by step for each individual component, then you will have success. If you don't follow the recipe, then essentially it becomes just that much harder for you to, to attain your marketing objectives. And the way that I had to learn this essentially is that my first website, one of the things that I did is that, when I was along the way, is I had to send traffic to my website. So my goal at the time was to send traffic to this website so that people can become members. So essentially, I remember paying a specific service to send my website as much traffic as possible. And essentially that service did what they were supposed to do. They sent as much website to my traffic as possible. The issue is that when the individuals got to that specific website, they were not taking the next step, right? And the next step being that they had to, they had to opt in and they had to become members. So essentially, the issue that I was having at that specific time, which is why I have this first thing here, is that it was a very busy website. They had so much that they can do once they arrive to that specific website that from a conversion standpoint, these specific individuals were not taking the next step. So essentially, the question that you might be asking is that, okay, how does this relate to real estate agents, and how does this relate to generating leads from a marketing standpoint? So the reason why it's relevant is that sometimes what you don't want to do is you don't want to send people to a busy page. You don't want to send people to a landing page that's very busy and that does not have a specific call to action. So essentially, what you want to do, and the thing that I had to do differently, is that I changed the content that was on the actual landing page. Once I changed the content on the actual landing page and I had one call to action and I gave people one thing to do, my conversion, I started to kind of get some conversion. So the first version of the page that I sent people to was very busy. It had a whole bunch of things to do. Do this. They had this thing, this thing, this thing. Had so many different things for them to do. So it created a lot of confusion. I modified that specific page and I created one specific thing for them to do. And I said, hey, welcome. This is the next step. I gave them one specific call to action. And when I did that, that went ahead and made changes. So essentially, I want to kind of just convey the exact same thing to you, is that you don't want to send people to busy pages. You want to send people to a page that has one specific call to action. So to kind of just hone in and be a little bit more specific, I am currently looking at a landing page, and that landing page is, let's just say if you're inviting someone to an upcoming open house, here are some of the things that you need to consider, the specific steps. So essentially, you send them to a landing page that has one specific step, and that one specific step in this specific instance that I'm looking at right now, it says upcoming open house. You give them the address, you give them the date and the time, and you say, hey, this specific open house is by registration only, is by appointments only. So if you're telling these specific individual that the open house is by appointments only, right, what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to provide their information to you for the sole purpose of scheduling that specific appointment, right? And then essentially the other thing that you can do is that, as I'm looking at this page, this landing page, the other thing that you can do is that you can give them some high level things about the property. So from an image standpoint, some people like to kind of just look at, you know, the images. They can look at the outside image, they can look at the inside image. However, that doesn't necessarily completely do it for your specific prospects, right? Looking at images sometimes is just the beginning of the process. Sometimes they want to go in and actually see it, hence the open house. So if they want to come in and actually see the actual home, they want to see the neighborhood, they want to kind of just, you know, have that in-person experience per se. When they arrive to your specific landing page, because you're telling them that, hey, you know what, hey, welcome to the specific landing page, upcoming open house. Here is the one thing I want you to do. I want you to go ahead and schedule an appointment, because this open house is by appointments only. So by them scheduling the appointment, they're giving you their name, email address, and phone number, and that way you are indeed generating lead. And that's the idea, and that's how you go ahead and generate leads prior to the open house. One of the things that I'm doing is that if you're a realtor and you need help with marketing, is that I have a done for you service. So basically what the done for you service is that I can go ahead and take your marketing and create all of the marketing assets and create your marketing for you. So essentially it's going to be a link somewhere on this page, and the link is going to allow you to go ahead and click. That link is going to allow you to arrive to a specific web page. Web page is going to kind of give you an overview as to what it is that I do, and as to how I can go ahead and help you and implement you know, marketing as it relates to your specific business. Hey, that's my time. Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you soon.